Hello and welcome to our next edition of the Grade 11 onboarding videos for you. This session is going to be about the road that leads to university. We're focusing on self-reflection and exploration. So now's the time for us to look introspectively into ourselves and think about what kind of options there are for us as well. As you know, I am Mr. Forrester.
And I'm Mr. Sibande.
And I'm Miss Hollins.
So today's agenda is thinking about self-reflection. What are you looking for and who are you as a student? Exploration, career and university options and the idea of fit. And then we're going to be looking at some tools and resources to get you started with. Let's start now with the what and the when. Although you've just learnt about the what and the when, it's still worth sharing with you again just to remind you. This sets us up to think about what we're trying to achieve this year in grade 11. If you notice, it starts with self-reflection. Tasks for this have just been sent out to the students. Then it moves on to exploration. Exploration of career options, which includes Morrisby, and destinations. That means what countries have to offer. Then exploration of the universities. So rather than starting at exploring the different universities immediately, there is a process of thinking about what career do I want to do? Use Morrisby to do this. And what destinations are there? What countries have certain things to offer before we then start looking specifically at those universities? It means it's really important for us to focus on these two things today. Self-reflection and exploration. So that brings us on to self-reflection. Self-reflection. Who are you? What do you do well? What do you want to do? So grade 11 is all about self-reflection. It's the time for that self-reflection. It's best to make sure that you're spending your time reflecting in grade 11 rather than in grade 12, when in grade 12 you'll have lots of tasks needed to get done in order to make that application. Time and time again, we have students that really wish that they spent more time reflecting on what they genuinely and truly want when they had time to do this, rather than worrying about how and when to get those applications out in grade 12. So this is the time to do it, and please take it seriously and get this done during the time when you've got this available to you. Make sure that you're aware of what you are trying to achieve. Think about the why you want to go to university in the first place. Maybe make a list of reasons as to why you want to go. If this is not really thought out, there will be no real clear plan, and you'll just be going through the motions, kind of being swept away in the process without knowing the why as to why you are applying in the first place. So applying without a clear focus or getting prepared without a clear focus or reason can impact those decisions that you're making. So you need to make sure that you are considering what you want and why you want it. That's key, because if you don't, you may need to have more than one attempt at applications and try again after grade 12. So we're really trying to avoid you falling into that pitfall. So make a note of areas that you would like to study as well, okay? Note the environments that you'd like to study in. And we're going to come across the idea of using Morrisby as well a little bit later on, where we talk about how you can use Morrisby to kind of help that self-reflective process of who you are as a person, who you are as a learner, and what environments work well for you. But it is important to think and make a note of areas that not just what you would like to study, but how and where you would like to study. And I'm not talking about the geographical location. I'm talking about environments maybe with, for example, a strong emphasis in practical application of knowledge, for example. Or are you a student that likes to learn by doing? Okay. So you might be a student that likes smaller class sizes, and which is similar to what you have at ACS. So somewhere like a liberal arts style campus might work for you if this is the case. You may want the experience or an environment where there is a lot of students in and around you as you're studying. So somewhere like a large public US university might be something that you think that you'd be interested in studying in. You might want an environment where there's a focus on critical thinking and developing transferable skills or even thinking skills. So it's really important to think about what works for you, what you'd like to achieve, who you are, what your strengths are, and then apply it to thinking about career types that there are. Thinking about the reasoning why you want to be in a particular career is really important as well.
The road to university really begins with self-reflection. This is a process where you have to introspect and really think about what you want to do, why you want to do it, and how you are going to go about doing it. We are here as college counselors, and we will help you in the best way we can to make sure that you go to an opportunity and the next step that is the best fit for you, whether that's university, whether that's apprenticeship, whether that's taking a gap year. We have students taking many different directions, and we're here to support you together with your parents, together with the rest of the school, to really ensure that whatever next step you're taking is going to be the right one for you, and it's going to set you up well to achieve your ambitions. However, the biggest part of the process is about you and what you really want to get out of this experience. We expect you to sit back and think about who you are as a person. What is it that you really want? Right? Think about why you want to attend university if you want to attend university. Think about what you want to do, and then you can come to us and we can talk about what those options look like, right? Think about the kind of environment you want to study or you want to work at if you are looking at an apprenticeship or if you're looking at going to a conservatory. Think about the career that you want. Why do you want that career? And why do you think that career is the right option for you? Right? What kind of aptitudes have you displayed so far that have prepared you to pursue this particular career? Remember, you are going to need this kind of information, whether you're applying to schools in the US or they're applying to schools in the UK and the rest of the world. You're really going to need to write a statement, a motivational statement that is going to talk about who you are as a person and how you've prepared yourself so far to pursue the particular pathway that you're taking.
So some good examples of types of learning environments within the university context is, for example, one example is hospitality management. This is a business management related degree, but with a clear context of learning about human resource management, learning about strategies in the business environment and the marketing mix related to hospitality. It gives you a focus of how you're going to apply those skills. So sports management is also another example with students that may be interested in sports in general, know that they want to do maybe something within business, but the idea of learning abstract principles without having a clear context to their learning kind of worries them. So, for example, sports management has a clear context and it allows you to then transfer your knowledge in a career to another field later on and using those business management style skills in another field later on. So think about what type of environment or what type of style of learning that you have. That's key. If you're, for example, interested in engineering and you like a practical approach to doing things rather than learning abstract ideas first, then there's a place called Teddy in London, which is very good in terms of students learning how to look at a product, back engineer the product, make a prototype, before actually necessarily focusing for a year or 2 years on abstract ideas related to making products before they actually make them.
It is our mission as the College Counselling Office to support you into getting into the right fit opportunities. So these are opportunities that meet your ambitions, they meet your aptitudes, and they also meet your own personal your own personality and your own personal preferences, which we're going to work with you to really figure them out, write them down, and then we'll advise you from our experience and from the multiple other resources that we have that will help you in that particular process. So the beginning of that starts with the self-reflection document, which will be shared with all of you, and that is going to be in the next slide.
So this document here is something that has been sent out to you already. We will be spending some time to go through every single document that we have available to you that has been individually shared to you. Okay, and this is one of those. And this document is a very important one to start that self-reflective process. First of all, it helps us to learn more about you as people and what you're trying to achieve and what your goals are, but also about you as a student. So ultimately, it's very important for you to think about what are your strengths, as we've already discussed, as well as thinking about what you're trying to achieve, and to list these in to this document here. So having a closer look at this, we can see that there are a series of questions, all with different colours there. We suggest that you take some time going through this. It's very important that you go through this document and answer these as honestly as you possibly can, but don't rush through it. So take your time, maybe take a few colours per day, all right? And it allows us to advocate for you as best we can in the recommendations, but also allows you, or drives you, to start reflecting upon your time in high school as well. The more reflection you do, the easier it'll be for you to write these essays later. We like to come back to this document throughout our whole time in grade 11. We also like to check to see how you're getting on and how your reflection is going as well. The idea is to basically get this done before your one-to-one sessions with us. So we've got a good starting point to start our more personalized, individualized conversations with you. So we've mentioned the idea of researching about careers and thinking about that end goal in mind first. So what Morrisby is really good at doing is to help also you to reflect. There is a section in there called About Me, and it has a whole range of aspects of different areas of your character, your interests, your aptitudes, work style, learning style, different working environments that suit you. So everybody has different strengths, and they have different abilities, different personalities and preferences. So as a result, all will have different fits that will impact your priorities and your choices as you make them. Okay? So look at your aptitudes and each section after that and ask yourself, does this accurately reflect where I am at the moment? Do I need to retake a questionnaire or retake some questions in there? Your interests in grade 10 may be different and changed to what they are now. So if that's the case, then retake the interest questionnaire. Take action to make sure that this profile accurately reflects where you are at the moment as much as possible. Then, using the profile, this should drive you to think about these two questions, these two important questions. Where are your strengths and what are your true interests? These two questions are the main focus for you at this stage. Think about what you love and what you're passionate about how you see yourself moving forward in the future. Consider the range of different styles of workplaces that there are on offer for different types of industries. Do spend some time reading about those, but we'll get to how you do that in a bit later on. Do you have a learning style, or do you see yourself in a particular place in the future? Is this particular workplace or style suited to what your personal priorities are or your personal interests? Remember, what your personal priorities and interests are when you're 18 may be different for when you're older. They certainly are from when I was younger to now. So do spend some time looking into these priorities as well as all of the other sections and really think to yourself, is this right? Is this truly me? If not, get to work. Take it in your hands to move it forwards. Now, once you have done that self-reflection, reflecting about you as a person in general, Morrisby allows you to then have some suggestions related to how you answered your profile in a range of different careers. So really thinking about Morrisby in terms of career research. So here you can see next to About Me, you've got My Choices and then Select Careers, and then there will be a range of different careers suggested to you. Now, the careers that it suggests to you is not a definitive list. It's a dynamic list. It's adaptable. It can change. Where it says focus on, you can see that you can select a list that's focused on your interests and aptitudes. That's what's been selected there. Or you may take those off and ask for a focus on what your personality or your special interests are. Also, on the right-hand side where you see the circles, you've got priority, search, and explore here. So we'll just zoom into that so you can see it closer. In here, you can actually start labeling your favorites. So ones that do actually seem to match you even more. This list, it can change according to what you like and what you don't like. So you can delete careers that don't match your interest. And then you can actually favorite the ones that you do like. But you've also got the search and explore tabs to allow you to start finding some career options and opportunities that haven't been highlighted to you in the platform. We really do encourage you guys to actually spend time checking out more than what's just suggested. It's the beginning. Okay. This is what it will look like when you go into one of those careers. You've got a general overview, what it takes to get into a particular career, a day-to-day kind of list of tasks that you'll need to do in a particular career, as well as some media in there as well, that you can watch some videos and learn what it's like from people who are actually already in the industry. But then further down, you'll be able to see routes, pathways. It's really key for you to have a look at the pathways that are there and how to get into specific careers, because those pathways will ultimately affect your choices as to A, which subjects that you choose, and also B, which university course you might want to choose as well. So being informed with the end goal in mind with careers will then help you make more informed choices with which specific courses that you may be selecting now at this point as you apply to go to university. Think careers, end goal in mind first, and then track backwards to what university course do I need to do in order to achieve that goal. That's ultimately what we're looking at here before we start to select our university courses, if that's something that you need to do. Like, for example, you're applying to a European or UK university. So remember, as you read through each individual career, you might decide, I want this one to be a favorite, so you flag it as a favorite. You may not like it anymore, so you delete it, and you might want to find a new one, so then you explore. So this is a dynamic list of which you are in control of using and changing accordingly to meet you and your goals and your interests and your needs. And this will then lead us on to thinking about what you're looking for from a university courses.